I'm recording. I also on video. So I was thinking about what to talk about, then I thought I might as well talk about something I know something about, and that's cooking. I've had some interesting cooking adventures. One of my claims to fame is I've made 45 tons of coleslaw, not all at the same time. It took a while. And I've had some other interesting adventures, but I want to address my misadventures. One time I was fixing lunch and the fire department showed up to see what I was fixing. It was toast. It was toast. My job wasn't toast, but then there was these, I was in the Coast Guard, and cooking on a ship is quite an adventure. It's one thing to cook in a galley or a kitchen that's not moving, but when the kitchen is moving and the galley is just going this way, and you're trying to cut, and inevitably someone would have to put on the menu kitchen or turkey cacciatore or something like that. And it's the first day out to sea, and people are not feeling good because it's all rocking and rolling. And they go to the chow line, and there's these noodles. Then they scoop this ladle into this creamy stuff with chunks and pour it on their plate, and they lose their appetite. Another time I was cooking croutons, and I discovered that 6 hours is too long to cook croutons. The ventilation system, oh, my mouth is not working. The ventilation system must have been really good because I just didn't notice. So I go in the oven to get something and whoops. Well, try that again. I also like cooking on a fire. I made chocolate chip cookies in a campfire one time. They actually turned out pretty good. They tasted like smoke, but that just added to the flavor. And I've cooked a lot of things on fire. But one of the worst things I had that was cooked in a campfire was something I'll never eat again, and you'll understand why. It was skunk. Skunk tastes like skunk. It was an adventure, but there was one thing I had a few days ago that was worse than that. I ate it, and I probably should have spit it out, but it was a roadkill porcupine. And the gut busted, and it got on the rib meat, and that's the meat I got. It was atrocious. So if you ever think about eating porcupine, make sure that's not roadkill squished. But sometimes roadkill stuff is pretty good. When it's just run over a little bit, it's fine. When it's tenderized too much, forget it. When it's road pizza, go for real pizza. Another story about when I was in the Coast Guard, I worked with Filipinos, and they have a hard time saying certain words. We have these big pans, they're about so square. They're called sheet pans. And the Filipinos I worked with couldn't say sheet. It came out shit. So when you're in the kitchen and they say, go get a shit pan, I make sure not to be literal about their interpretations. So it was a lot of fun, and there was another time out to sea. It was getting rough, 30-foot waves, I think, and someone decided to come about with the ship turns, and the ship got in a trough, and we took some really big rolls, and we were cooking turkey, and the juice poured out of the pan, and the grease poured out of the deep fat fryer. It was a challenge. The oven shorted out, but we managed to get back and make everybody happy with almost cooked turkey. So and I gotta throw in a George and Ralph joke. See, George and Ralph, that was in their later years, and George was kind of ailing, and he thought he was going to die, and he was laying in his bed, and Ralph was sitting there looking at him, and his wife Betty Lou was there, and then it looked like he died. He just breathed, and they thought, oh my, we're going to have a funeral. I wonder what George's favorite food was. Brownies. We're going to cook some brownies. So his wife goes down there and makes up some brownies. And they're cooking, and a smell starts going through the house. And the smell goes upstairs to George's bedroom, and he perks up. And brownies. I like brownies. So he hobbles down into the kitchen and sees this brownie sitting on a pan. And he reaches to get one, and his wife said, "Stop! That's for the funeral." Oh, George, you couldn't win. I thought there might have been some others, but I think that's all I've got coming right now. I was going to go freestyle rather than commando. I could go commando and freestyle, but that's TMI. So thank you very much, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coyote! Thank you. That was wonderful.